Hello, all you Nine Steps to Life Change course folks and strengths believers, strengths enthusiasts out there in as a part of this course. Hello, I just am glad to get this monthly time to check in with you and hope that it is something that helps spur you along in your strengths as you approach your marriage, your work, your parenting, which I'm going to chat a little bit about today. And I realized I don't have a way of checking to see who's on or what the comments are, but I think Andy's here. And if anyone else is here, or if you're catching this on replay, welcome. And so glad to be in connection with you, even if it's in this kind of virtually kind of way. So we are expecting a huge ice storm tomorrow, which I guess they're notoriously wrong. So maybe we won't, but kind of fun to be in our part of the world, ushering in the winter. And as a part of that, also there's implications for us here that this is going to be our last office hours, Straight 9 Steps to Life Change course office hours for 2018. And then next year, it's going to look different. And I'll be looking to you guys for your input as we make some changes here and there in the course and in how we offer it and how we package it. And I know that you've been here along all the way from beta to a few rollouts, and I've appreciated you so much individually. I know you, I know your name and your email address. And for many of you, I actually know you and your strengths and why you're doing what you're doing and why you joined us. And so I'm hoping to make that an even better, deeper connection with you guys, but also the people that join me in the future. So that's kind of a very broad overview of it's going to be different. So I will keep you posted. I will probably also ask for your input, and I would love to hear from you. I actually literally would love to have a response, an email from you about your thoughts and ideas as I put some questions out there. And one of those questions that probably does not really have to do with the 9 Steps to Life Change course or virtual coaching, as it might be switching to, is about parenting. And I've had many people request what this looks like in parenting. In my workshops, I was just in San Francisco last week and had a great workshop, and it was so interesting. I mean, it's one of those things, people talk about it with their spouse, and they say, I want to get my kids to take this, and how old do they have to be, and all that. And so there's a lot of question about it. And so I am planning on putting out a Nisogo TV series on that. And because you guys are used to walking in your strengths, living in your strengths, I would love to kind of pick your brain a little bit and to know, what would be helpful in the world of parenting. If you think about how do I apply the strengths application to my kids and to parenting. Parenting is one thing, to kids is another too as well, like both individual things. Like how do I help them in their strengths? And then how do I use those things to as a parent to help parent them to be responsible, kind human beings as they grow up, and even when they're out of the house? How do I continue to nurture that, expect the best from them, from their strengths? And so would love to know what your thoughts are on what would be good, what would be helpful. What have you found helpful? Are you doing this already? Are you living a strengths-based kind of parenting approach, at least when you think about it? And what do you do, and how has it worked? And I'd be really interested in hearing your input and your thoughts on that. And what have you tried? Where have you gotten stuck? Have you not even started because it just seems like I don't really get how this would go, or what? So one of the things, so I've done a podcast, Isogo TV podcast on some aspects of parenting. And one of the things that I love about the people that I've spoken with, especially those that have older kids now, but that have been using the strengths perspective in their parenting for a while, is what I came to see, the pattern that you, as a strengths-based parent, you get to have the opportunity to parent at the intersection of your strengths. So if these are your strengths and these are your kids' strengths, you get to kind of lay them on top of each other So that there's not a one size fits all for parenting. Strengths-based parenting isn't going to be a 1, 2, 3 approach. That's sort of what's hard about it, because you can't just be like, oh, these are the 3 things that are definitely going to work. Well, that's not the way it's going to work. That won't work. It's just like leadership. You can't have 3 tips that are going to work in leadership for everyone. In the same way, you can't have 3 tips that are going to work for everybody in parenting either. And so, so you get to use your strengths, and then where they not just like, okay, this is the way I parent, so that's great. Like, sorry, kid, with your strengths over here. It's sorry if that this doesn't meet you where you're at, but rather trying to overlap them and figure out, okay, where do I need to dial down or dial up because of how it fits with the way that they're wired naturally. Most of you know that our kids are little, 7, 5, 3, and 1, and so we're in the stage of strength spotting, as Mary Reckmeyer has said in her book, Strengths-Based Parenting. We're in let's just recognize what comes easily to them, what they're proud of, what they seem to love and enjoy, and do more of that. So, but even with that, as we start to take notes on them and figure out patterns for them, we're able to see, where those strengths might be, so that I can match up my parenting with one child in a different way that I match it up with another. So those are just some of my thoughts as you are exploring this world as well. For those of you who have kids and think, it might be interesting to explore this concept. Those are some of my thoughts so far. So you will hear more on that in the future. And like I said, I would love to just hear your thoughts and inputs. What have you tried? What has worked well? Where have you gotten stuck? What's needed? What would be good for you and helpful in your world of parenting, if you're going to think about applying this strengths perspective to your parenting? So there we go. I think that's it. That's all I have for you. So hopefully you're catching this on replay, and you will put some thought into how you interact with your kids based on your strengths and theirs, and send feedback my way. And I guess I have to say, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all those things. You'll be hearing from me for sure. Like I said, I very much value you. So thank you for being here every month, and for signing on to join in with our course. But also, more than anything, just congratulations, and keep going on living the strengths perspective, living a life through your strengths, so that you can make relationships easier, so that you can resolve conflict, so that you can be re-energized in your marriage and in your work. So we'll chat again. Bye now.